My name is Brian Mulego. I'm a senior IT officer at the Ministry of Tourism. I also head IT with the ministry. We're located on Resort Towers, Nakasero Road in Kampala. Well, before NITA, we had a problem of many manual and physical processes. For example, at the basic level, just communication between the ministry head office and our field offices was really challenging. But with the NITA-U services, that has improved. We also had another challenge of many manual business processes, which required clients or customers of the ministry looking for various services like permits for various things like maybe wildlife import or export to keep coming to the ministry offices physically, which costed a lot of time, obviously, and it was not very efficient. We're working with NITA. We've managed to offer better services to the public in the form of automation of those business processes that we offer to various clients. For example, like I mentioned, just connectivity between our offices has improved communication and productivity within the ministry. And business processes like issuance of permits, provision of data in the sector have all improved a lot through working with NITA. NITA has developed many systems for us, and also hosting those systems. They have offered communication, for example, through email and many other services, which have really improved service delivery in the tourism sector. An example I can think of is the wildlife permits that I mentioned earlier, which the process was manual and required the client who wanted to import or export wildlife to move to different agencies, for example, Ministry of Agriculture, Ministry of Water and Environment for an impact assessment, to UA and then to the ministry to get the final permit issued. You also had to go to the bank to pay money. But through NITA, we managed to automate the entire process. So a service provider who desires to import or export wildlife simply creates an account on the system and applies for a permit, and the rest is done automatically through that system, and it is much faster, more efficient. Then also communication within the ministry and its field offices is now much faster, more reliable, and we are generally more productive. Yes, we've done some digital scaling, especially in cybersecurity, which has also helped us improve our security posture. We've done various trainings for our staff members and various certificates, of course, but mainly centered around cybersecurity because we thought that was our weakest point, and that has greatly improved our security posture. It has helped us to come up with better information security policies and strategies, and also to implement these accordingly. What I can mention really is the fast response from NITA, because being technology, there are always many challenges, and even when the service is very good, there are always new requirements. So we've always been able to get a very quick and fast response from the NITA support teams. It doesn't matter whether we've sent an email, a phone call, someone offers support, and they ask you to formalize later. Maybe you find we had a requirement of a higher, it's a storage at a virtual server at the National Data Center. They'll always provide it as fast as possible without much bureaucracy. So for us, that has been really, really a great advantage with working with NITA-U. Well, the tourism industry is very dynamic and it keeps progressing, mainly because we serve clients who are not just within the country, but also outside of the country. We have many initiatives, but one that really is very critical is the e-commerce platform that we are working on through the UDAP project, where NITA-U is developing for us an e-commerce platform that will enable the handcraft and souvenirs industry players to be able to sell their products, not just nationally, but also internationally. And obviously that has great impact in terms of employment, in terms of income, in terms of tax revenue for the country. So of course, we are much desirous to continue working with NITA in these initiatives. And we have many others. We have, for example, a destination management system that we are working on that will help make life easier for tourists who come into the country, or even those who are planning to travel into the country. So for us, working with NITA is really the best choice for us because it helps us to get these services much faster and also to deliver them much better to our client. When I look at our journey, where we were before NITA and where we are right now, I wouldn't recommend any other option. The option is really to work with NITA because NITA has a lot of resources and support. So I would encourage any MDA to leverage that to improve their services. And even the other thing I didn't mention was that with NITA, NITA is basically also a consultant, where I would invite or write to them to come in and maybe help us analyze some processes, help us see what we can improve, what we can automate. So they can also start from that point, because sometimes as an agency or an institution, you may not really know how to improve your processes. But through these consultations and visits from the NITA teams, you find that the NITA team can recommend processes that can be automated, and you end up improving and also providing better services to your clients. So my advice and recommendation is to leverage the support from NITA as much as possible.